Alright, Astrolux EP05 on turbo. Look at that. It's just great big wall of light. And what I like about it as well is that the spill goes all the way to my feet. But you can see all the way pretty much the back of those trees. Which I thought was pretty surprising given the size of the lens. These 5 mini TIR lenses. Now keep in mind the light does step down pretty quickly. I can already see it stepping down, but let's just hold and see what it ends up with at the end. Okay. I mean, it's still very, very usable. After it steps down, I mean, look at that. I can still see all the way to the center of that field. Not really to the back, but lighting up the center of that field, tree a bit closer. This is a great walking light because you don't have a huge amount of focus in the center of that beam. There's definitely more of a large hot spot in the center, but it's not like really focused in the center like a proper thrower. So that's a light completely stepped down, and I believe this is something like 400 to 600 lumens. Okay, but very usable. This is a great walking light, great all-purpose sort of light. Okay, let's activate turbo again. It's good that you can activate it a second time round, third time round, that kind of thing. But it has that feature just to step down. It's necessary on smaller lights like this, otherwise you're just not gonna, you're just gonna damage the electronics and it's gonna get way too hot. Okay, I'll go through the other modes. Okay, so that's like the medium mode. That's the low mode. You can't really see much. There is a strobe mode, an SOS mode. Okay, but starting from the top, you've got basically that's the high mode there. Which isn't actually too different from the turbo mode. Turbo is a little bit brighter, but not a huge amount brighter. So high, then you got medium. And medium, I would say, is roughly where the light steps down to. And of course, the low mode here, it's very difficult to see here on camera, but pretty good for very short range usage. Okay, but you do have to cycle through all those modes to get to the top of the ramp again. I mean, for a basic EDC light where you're not in any hurry to change the modes, it's actually okay, but it's just probably more of an annoyance than anything. Here's your turbo again. And I like how the light just isn't getting too hot as well. It's able to just, I think that option, that decision that Astrolux made just to make the light step down straight away is good. Okay, I'm going to compare this to my Sofirn IF25A. And this is the Sofirn IF25A on turbo to the left. Okay, this is the IF25A, and you can see it's pretty bright. Okay, pretty bright, reaching the end of those trees quite easily. It's got more of a warmer tint. This is the 5000K version. Okay. It does take a little bit longer to step down, but let's have a look at the EP05. Okay, turbo. Okay, so on the left, got the Sofirn. Right here, we've got the EP05. So yeah, I mean, this Sofirn does throw a little bit more. Okay, definitely with the EP05, 6500K, it's got more of this sort of white tint. It's not unpleasant, but something to keep in mind, obviously. Yeah, that's your 5000K to compare it to. Okay, I'm on the side of the road here and got a bit of a trail or path in front of us, so I'm going to put it on turbo, the EP05, and this is actually the low mode, but double press and look at that. Really just clears up, lights up this entire area. You can see the trees, you can see the path. The beam is pretty much 180 degrees. You can see there's light near my feet as well. I'll go for a bit of a walk. I'm going to go just on the low mode now in the EP05 and go straight to turbo. And this is kind of like a little bit of a clearing here. A bunch of these trees. It's more of a short range. You can see it hits those trees right at the back, but everything in front and to the left and right, there's lots of spill. So perfect walking light really. And you can go and sort of go through all the other modes. So that's the low mode. Fortunately, I do have to go through the strobe and the SOS mode, but you got the high mode here, which is pretty similar to the turbo. Turbo just gives it an extra little bump. Medium mode is great for kind of all-purpose use really. I'd probably use this mostly. Okay. I'll go for a walk on turbo.